Did you know that some of the best skincare advice might be 1,000 years old? We think of the Middle Ages as a dark, dirty time. We picture mud, plague, and people who never bathed. But that is not the whole story. Or people, especially women, cared a lot about how they looked. They wanted clear, smooth, pale skin. They developed routines and recipes to get it. They did not have laboratories or fancy chemicals. They used what was around them. Plants from the garden, honey from bees, or fat from animals. And a lot of their ideas were surprisingly smart. Now, we are starting to realize they were onto something. We are tired of long ingredient lists we cannot pronounce. We are worried about what synthetic chemicals are doing to our skin and our planet. So we are looking back, not to a perfect past, but to a simpler one. What if the secret to great skin isn't in a new high-tech serum? What if it is in a medieval herb garden? Could an old recipe book hold more wisdom than a modern beauty magazine? Let's look at the old secrets that are new again. It's number 19. Why would you wash your face with wine? It sounds strange. A waste of good wine, maybe? But in medieval Europe, wine was a common part of skincare, not just for drinking, but for cleansing and toning the skin. The famous medical text from the 11th or 12th century, the Trotula of Salerno, mentions using wine to wash the face. It was often the base for herbal infusions. They would steep herbs like rosemary or fennel in wine and then apply it to the skin. The idea was that the wine could clean the pores and deliver the benefits of the herbs more effectively. They believed it could lighten the skin and reduce blemishes. For them, it was a logical choice. The water quality was often poor and could carry disease. Wine, with its alcohol content, was seen as a purer, more antiseptic option. Today, this practice is seeing a quiet revival. We call it venotherapy. This is not about just splashing Chardonnay on your face. Modern skincare companies are isolating specific compounds from grapes and wine. The most famous of these is resveratrol. Resveratrol is a powerful antioxidant found in the skin of red grapes. A 2005 study published in the journal Dermatologic Surgery showed that topically applied resveratrol had significant anti-aging and anti-inflammatory properties. It helps protect the skin from damage caused by the sun and pollution. Another key component is tartaric acid. This is an alpha hydroxy acid, or AHA. We use AHAs today for chemical exfoliation. They dissolve the bonds, holding dead skin cells to the surface, revealing brighter, smoother skin underneath. Medieval women were essentially giving themselves a gentle acid peel every time they used a wine-based wash. They did not have the scientific terms, but they saw the results. The brand Caudalie, founded in 1995 on a Bordeaux vineyard, built its entire philosophy on the power of grape extracts. They patented the use of grapeseed polyphenols, which are even more powerful antioxidants than vitamin E. So while the medieval method was simple, the principle was sound. They were using a natural source of antioxidants and gentle acids to cleanse and brighten their skin. It was a single ingredient product that did multiple jobs. It cleansed, it toned, it exfoliated, and it protected. We are just now catching up and putting the same ingredients into expensive bottles. But this raises some questions. If the simple act of using wine was effective, how much of our modern multi-step skincare routine is truly necessary? Are we overcomplicating something that our ancestors understood with a single ingredient? And what other common medieval foods or drinks hold powerful skincare compounds that we have completely overlooked? Number 18. Could animal fat be the ultimate moisturizer? People in the Middle Ages used animal fat on their skin, lard from pigs, tallow from cows or sheep. It was a common moisturizer. It was also used to make soap. This sounds unpleasant to many of us today. We are used to light, floral-scented lotions. The idea of smearing beef fat on our face seems heavy and greasy. But for them, it was practical. Like after an animal was butchered, nothing was wasted. The fat was rendered down and used for cooking, making candles, and caring for skin. It was a staple of daily life. Texts from the period, including Hildegard of Bingen's 12th century work Physica, describe using fats and ointments for various skin ailments. These were not just for beauty, but for healing dry, chapped, or wounded skin. Provided a thick, protective barrier against harsh weather. This practice is making a huge comeback. You can now find small companies, often on Etsy or at farmers markets, selling whipped tallow face cream. The ancestral living and carnivore diet communities have embraced it. Why? Because tallow is incredibly compatible with our own skin. Its chemical makeup is surprisingly similar to our sebum, the natural oil our skin produces. It is rich in the same kinds of fatty acids like oleic acid and stearic acid. This means our skin recognizes it and can absorb it easily. A 2018 paper in the Indian Journal of Dermatology highlighted the importance of these fatty acids for maintaining a healthy skin barrier. A strong barrier keeps moisture in and irritants out. Many modern skin problems, like eczema and acne, are linked to a damaged skin barrier. Tallow is also packed with fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. These are essential for skin health. Vitamin A encourages cell turnover. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that fights damage. Vitamin D plays a role in skin cell growth and repair. These are the same vitamins we pay a lot of money for in synthetic serums. In tallow, they exist in their natural, bioavailable form. People who use it say it clears up their acne, soothes their eczema, and reduces fine lines. They did not call it biocompatible in the 13th century, they just knew it worked. It healed their skin and it was easy to get. This return to animal fats forces us to think. If our ancestors thrived using these fats, what are we missing in our plant-based or synthetic creams? Are we creating new skin problems by moving so far away from our own biology? And if something as simple as tallow is so effective, why did we ever stop using it? Number 17 is your toner just expensive rosewater. Walk through any beauty store today and you will see rosewater. It is in face mists, toners, and moisturizers. It is praised for its ability to soothe, hydrate, and reduce redness, but this is not a new discovery. Rosewater was a cornerstone of medieval skincare. Its popularity in Europe surged during the Crusades when knights and traders brought back distillation techniques from the Islamic world. The Persian physician Avicenna, who lived around the year 1000, is often credited with perfecting the process of steam distilling rose petals to create pure rosewater. It became a luxury item used by the wealthy for everything from scenting their clothes to flavoring their food to, of course, caring for their skin. Medical books of the time, like the 14th century Tacinum Sanitatis, show images of roses being cultivated and distilled. It was used as a gentle astringent to tighten pores and as an anti-inflammatory to calm irritated skin. Queens like Eleanor of Aquitaine were said to have used it in their beauty rituals. The science today confirms what medieval women knew from experience. Rosewater has proven anti-inflammatory properties. A 2011 study in the Iranian Journal of Basic Medical Sciences found that rose extract had a relaxing effect on muscle tissue, which might explain its soothing qualities on stressed skin. It is also a mild antiseptic and antibacterial, which helps to keep skin clean and prevent breakouts. Research published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry has identified numerous powerful antioxidant compounds in rose petals. These antioxidants help to protect skin cells from damage, which is the primary cause of premature aging. When you spritz a rosewater mist on your face, you are doing something very similar to what a noblewoman in the 12th century might have done. The technology to produce it is more refined, but the core ingredient and its benefits are exactly the same. We have simply rediscovered its gentle effectiveness. It is a simple, single-ingredient product that tones, soothes, and protects without the harshness of alcohol-based toners that became popular in the 20th century. It makes you wonder, though. Medieval people used what was in their gardens. Roses, lavender, chamomile. We now buy these same ingredients, extracted and bottled, for a high price. Have we lost the ability to see the solutions growing right around us? What other simple floral waters, once common, have we forgotten that could benefit our skin? And is the effectiveness of a product really about a complex formula, or is it about the quality and purity of one good ingredient? Number 16, should you be putting vinegar on your face? The idea of putting something as sharp and acidic as vinegar on your skin might seem harsh. But for centuries, it was a beauty staple. In the Middle Ages, vinegar, usually apple cider vinegar or wine vinegar, was used as a skin rinse and toner. It was often diluted with water and used to wash the face and hair. The goal was to achieve a clear, bright complexion. A pale complexion was highly prized, and vinegar was believed to help lighten freckles and blemishes. It was also used to treat skin problems that we would now identify as acne or fungal infections. They believed it helped to balance the skin and keep it clean. This was a world without clarifying lotions or spot treatments. Vinegar was their all-in-one solution. It was cheap, it was available everywhere, and people observed that it worked. Modern science explains why they were right. The key is pH. Healthy skin has a slightly acidic surface known as the acid mantle. This acidic layer, with a pH between 4.5 and 5.5, is a crucial part of our skin's natural defense system. It helps to ward off harmful bacteria and fungi. Many things can disrupt this balance, including harsh soaps, pollution, and even plain water, which is neutral. When the acid mantle is disrupted, it can lead to problems like dryness, irritation, and acne. Vinegar is acidic. Specifically, it contains acetic acid. When diluted and applied to the skin, it can help restore the skin's natural acidic pH. A 2018 review in the journal Skin Pharmacology and Physiology discussed the importance of skin pH and how topical acidic preparations can support skin barrier function. Furthermore, acetic acid has well-documented antimicrobial properties. A 2017 study published in Scientific Reports confirmed that even diluted acetic acid is effective against several strains of bacteria. This explains why it helped medieval people with their breakouts. They were essentially rebalancing their skin's pH and killing acne-causing bacteria. Today, apple cider vinegar toners are popular again. People mix a small amount with water and use a cotton pad to apply it after cleansing, just like our ancestors did. And brands are also incorporating apple cider vinegar and other acidic ferments into their toners and clarifying treatments. They are marketing a concept that has been around for over 1,000 years. But what does this tell us about our modern cleansing habits? Are our alkaline, foamy cleansers creating the very problems we then try to fix with expensive toners and serums? Could it be that a simple, cheap bottle of vinegar holds a more effective secret to skin balance than an entire counter of beauty products? And what other fermented liquids like kombucha or kefir might offer similar benefits we are just beginning to explore? Number 15, can you get clear skin by eating soup? We tend to think of skincare as something we put on our skin. Creams, serums, masks. The medieval approach was more holistic. They understood that what you put inside your body was just as important as what you put on the outside. One of the ways they cared for their skin from within was through bone broth. Broth was a fundamental part of the medieval diet. Nothing from an animal was wasted, so bones were simmered for hours, sometimes days, to extract every last bit of nutrition. This long, slow cooking process breaks down the bones and connective tissues, releasing minerals, collagen, and other nutrients into the water. This nutrient-dense liquid was used as the base for soups and stews, or simply drunk on its own, especially by those who were sick or recovering. They knew it was strengthening and restorative. The modern wellness world has rediscovered bone broth, hailing it as a superfood for gut health, joint health, and of course, skin health. The main reason is collagen. Collagen is the most abundant protein in our bodies, the structural framework that keeps our skin firm, plump, and elastic. As we age, our bodies produce less collagen, which leads to wrinkles and sagging. When you drink bone broth, you are consuming cooked collagen, which is broken down into gelatin. Your body can then use the amino acids from this gelatin, like glycine and proline, as the building blocks to make its own collagen. A 2019 review of several studies published in the Journal of Drugs in Dermatology concluded that oral collagen supplements significantly increase skin hydration, elasticity, and density. While drinking bone broth is not exactly the same as taking a standardized supplement, the principle is identical. You are providing your body with the raw materials it needs to build and repair skin tissue from the inside out. Beyond collagen, bone broth is also rich in minerals like calcium and magnesium, and compounds like glucosamine, which can help reduce inflammation throughout the body, including skin inflammation seen in conditions like acne and rosacea. Medieval people did not know about amino acids or collagen peptides. They just knew that a hearty, long-cooked soup made them feel strong and look healthy. They saw a connection between a nourishing diet and a vibrant appearance. We are now spending a fortune on collagen powders and pills to replicate the benefits of something that was once a simple, everyday part of their cooking. This raises some important questions. Have we become too focused on topical solutions for problems that actually start from within? What other traditional foods, dismissed as old-fashioned, contain powerful nutrients for skin health that we have forgotten? And could changing our diet be a more powerful anti-aging strategy than any cream we could ever buy? Number 14 is a spoonful of honey better than a chemical peel. Honey is one of humanity's oldest skincare ingredients. Ancient Egyptians used it, and its popularity continued straight through the Middle Ages. It was a precious commodity used as a sweetener, a medicine, and a beauty treatment. Medieval recipes for face masks and balms frequently list honey as a key ingredient. The Trotula recommends a mixture of honey and ground barley to cleanse the face and leave it smooth. It was used to heal wounds, soothe burns, and moisturize dry skin. They recognized its ability to make the skin soft and clear, and its power to help heal infections. For them, it was a gift from nature that was both gentle and powerful. The scientific validation for honey's use in skincare is overwhelming. First, it is a natural humectant. This means it draws moisture from the air into the skin and holds it there. This provides deep, lasting hydration without making the skin oily. A 2013 study in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology confirmed the moisturizing and conditioning effects of honey on the skin. Second, honey is a potent antimicrobial. It produces hydrogen peroxide in small, slow-releasing amounts, which makes it effective at killing bacteria, including the kind that causes acne, P. acnes. In a review published in the Asian Pacific Journal of Tropical Biomedicine in 2011, detailed the extensive antibacterial properties of honey, which is why it has been used as a wound dressing for millennia. A raw, unpasteurized honey, especially Manuka honey, is particularly powerful in this regard. Third, honey contains gluconic acid, a mild alpha-hydroxy acid AHA. This acid gently exfoliates the skin, sloughing off dead cells and brightening the complexion. So that medieval recipe of honey and barley was a hydrating, antibacterial, exfoliating mask. It did the work of 3 different modern products. Today, honey is a star ingredient in both DIY face masks and high-end green beauty products. People use it as a gentle face wash, a spot treatment for pimples, or a hydrating mask. We are recognizing that this simple natural substance can outperform many complex chemical formulas. It cleanses, moisturizes, and treats breakouts without stripping the skin's natural barrier or causing irritation. It makes you think, why do we ever turn to harsh drying acne treatments when a simple pot of honey was so effective? Are we too quick to assume that a synthetic, lab-created ingredient is superior to a natural one that has been proven effective for thousands of years? And what other secrets are hiding in the beehive, like propolis or royal jelly, that we are only now beginning to appreciate? Number 13, could a common weed be the secret to perfect skin? In medieval times, the lines between medicine, gardening, and skincare were blurred. People relied on the plants that grew around them for healing and beauty. One of the most common and valued of these plants was not a rare flower, but a humble herb we now consider a weed plantain. Not the banana-like fruit, but the leafy green Plantago major that sprouts up in lawns and through cracks in the sidewalk. Medieval herbalists, like the 11th century Abbess Hildegard of Bingen, wrote extensively about the healing properties of plantain. It was known as a drawing herb. A poultice of crushed plantain leaves was applied to splinters, insect bites, and stings to draw out the venom or foreign object. It was also used to soothe rashes, burns, and other skin irritations. It was the go-to remedy for any kind of inflamed or damaged skin. Modern science has shown that this folk remedy is based on solid biochemistry. The plantain leaves contain a number of active compounds. One of them is allantoin, a substance that promotes the growth of new skin cells and helps to heal wounds. Allantoin is a common ingredient in modern skincare products, especially those for sensitive or scarred skin. It is often synthesized in a lab, but it exists naturally in plants like plantain and comfrey. Plantain also contains aucubin, an iridoid glycoside with powerful anti-inflammatory properties. A 2012 study in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology verified the anti-inflammatory and analgesic pain-relieving effects of plantain extract. It also has demulcent properties, meaning it creates a soothing, protective film over the skin. So when a medieval mother put a chewed-up leaf of plantain on her child's bee sting, she was applying a natural anti-inflammatory, pain reliever, and skin healing agent all at once. The use of plantain is being revived in the world of herbalism and natural skincare. People make infused oils and salves with it to treat everything from diaper rash to eczema. It is a perfect example of a powerful, effective ingredient that has been ignored by the mainstream beauty industry simply because it is common and free. Like, it cannot be patented. You cannot build $1 billion brand around a weed that grows in your backyard. This makes you question the very nature of the beauty industry. Are the most effective ingredients necessarily the most rare or expensive? How many other common weeds, like dandelion or chickweed, have potent skincare benefits that we have been trained to ignore or actively destroy? What if the best skincare in the world is not for sale, but is waiting to be picked in our own lawns? Number 12. Why was bathing in oatmeal a luxury? For most of us, oatmeal is a humble breakfast food. But in the medieval period, and even stretching back to Roman times, oats were also a respected skin treatment. While a full bath might have been an infrequent luxury for some, using oat-based preparations to soothe the skin was well known. A mixture of ground oats and water or milk would be made into a paste and applied to areas of irritated, itchy, or dry skin. It was used to calm rashes, sunburns, and the discomfort of skin diseases. They knew that it had an almost immediate calming effect on red, angry skin. It was a gentle, nourishing remedy that was safe for even the most sensitive complexions. We now know exactly why this works, and the science is so solid that the FDA officially recognized colloidal oatmeal as a skin protectant in 2003. The key lies in a group of compounds found in oats called avenanthramides. These are a type of polyphenol with incredibly strong anti-inflammatory and anti-itch properties. A study published in the Archives of Dermatological Research in 2008 showed that avenanthramides inhibited the release of inflammatory compounds in the body, which explains their effectiveness in calming conditions like eczema and psoriasis. Oats are also rich in beta-glucans, a type of soluble fiber. When applied to the skin, beta-glucan forms a fine film that helps to lock in moisture. It is an excellent moisturizer that can also help to stimulate collagen production. Furthermore, the fats and proteins in oats help to replenish the skin's natural barrier. A simple oatmeal bath is delivering anti-inflammatories, powerful moisturizers, and barrier-repairing lipids all at the same time. The brand Aveeno has built its entire identity around the power of oats, a piece of wisdom that is thousands of years old. People still take oatmeal baths to soothe chickenpox or poison ivy. DIY recipes for oat masks are everywhere. We have not improved upon this ancient remedy, we have just packaged it and given it a scientific explanation. It is a direct, unbroken line of skincare knowledge from the past to the present. So, if something as simple as a bowl of oats can be so effective for serious skin conditions, are we over-reliant on prescription steroids and harsh treatments? What other common kitchen staples like rice or barley hold similar untapped potential for skin health? And does the fact that a food can be a medicine for our skin suggest that we should be more mindful of what we eat as well as what we apply? In number 11, did they have face masks in the Middle Ages? The concept of applying a thick paste to the face, letting it dry, and washing it off for better skin is not an invention of the 21st century. People in the Middle Ages were masters of the face mask. They used a wide variety of ingredients, many of which are still popular in DIY beauty circles today. One of the most common types of masks was clay-based. They would use different kinds of clay, known as fuller's earth or kaolin, mixed with water or vinegar to form a paste. This was applied to the face to draw out impurities and oil from the pores. The De Ornatu Mulierum, a text from the Trotula collection, gives a recipe for a clarifying treatment that includes clay. They observed that after using the mask, their skin felt cleaner and their pores looked smaller. The science behind clay masks is straightforward. Clays like bentonite and kaolin have a negative electrical charge. Many of the toxins, oils, and impurities in our skin have a positive charge. When the clay is applied to the skin, it acts like a magnet, binding to these impurities and pulling them out as the mask dries. A 2017 review on the therapeutic uses of clay noted its ability to absorb excess sebum and calm inflammation, making it useful for people with oily or acne-prone skin. Another popular medieval mask ingredient was egg whites. They would whip them into a froth and apply it to their face. As the egg white dried, it would tighten on the skin, temporarily firming the face and shrinking the appearance of pores. This is because egg whites are primarily composed of albumin, a simple protein. When it dries, it creates a film on the skin that provides a lifting effect. It is a simple mechanical process, but the visual result is immediate. Today, egg white masks are still a popular home remedy for a quick fix lift before a special event. They also use masks made from fruits, vegetables, and grains, mashed cucumbers to cool and soothe. a paste of ground almonds and milk to exfoliate and soften, a poultice of bread soaked in milk to soften the skin. Each recipe was tailored to a specific need, using the observed properties of everyday ingredients. We have not really invented anything new, we have just created more convenient prepackaged versions of these ancient ideas. A modern charcoal peel-off mask works on the same principle as a medieval clay mask. A high-end lifting serum often relies on film-forming ingredients to create a temporary tightening effect, just like an egg white. This makes you wonder, if the basic principles of masking have not changed in 1,000 years, what are we paying for with expensive modern masks? Is it better ingredients or just better marketing and packaging? Could we create a complete and effective skincare routine using only ingredients found in a medieval kitchen? And what has been lost by trading the ritual of mixing our own fresh masks for the convenience of a plastic tube? Number 10 was avoiding the sun, the best anti-aging secret. In the medieval period, a pale, almost translucent complexion was the ultimate beauty standard for the upper classes. A tan was the mark of a peasant, someone who had to labor outdoors in the fields. Noble women went to great lengths to protect their skin from the sun. They would wear wide-brimmed hats, veils, and gloves when they went outside. They would spend much of their time indoors. If they did get some color, they would use skin-lightening concoctions, some of which were unfortunately dangerous and contained ingredients like lead. But the primary and safest method of maintaining a pale complexion was simple sun avoidance. This was not about health concerns as we understand them today. They did not know about UV radiation or skin cancer. It was purely about social status and aesthetics. But in their pursuit of a class-based ideal, they stumbled upon the single most effective anti-aging strategy that exists. Today, the link between sun exposure and skin aging is undisputed scientific fact. The World Health Organization states that up to 90% of visible skin aging is caused by the sun. UV radiation breaks down collagen and elastin, the fibers that keep skin firm and youthful. This leads to wrinkles, sagging, and a leathery texture. It also causes hyperpigmentation, the dark spots and uneven skin tone that we often call age spots. Dermatologists are unanimous in their advice. The most important thing you can do for your skin's long-term health and appearance is to protect it from the sun. We do this with sunscreen, a 20th century invention, but the medieval method of physical protection covering up and seeking shade is just as, if not more, effective. A wide-brimmed hat and long sleeves provide reliable, chemical-free protection. It is ironic that for centuries a tan was a sign of a lower-class outdoor worker. Then, in the 1920s, Coco Chanel accidentally got a tan on a cruise, and suddenly it became a symbol of wealth and leisure, of having the time and money to vacation in sunny places. For the next century, people intentionally baked themselves in the sun to achieve this look. Now, the pendulum is swinging back. With our increased knowledge of sun damage, a pale, even-toned complexion is once again becoming a sign of someone who is knowledgeable and careful about their skin health. We are back to the medieval ideal, but for scientific reasons instead of social ones. This raises some fascinating questions. How much of our perception of beauty is driven by social class indicators rather than inherent aesthetics? If medieval women were right about sun avoidance for the wrong reasons, what other unscientific traditional practices might have hidden valid health benefits? And in our pursuit of a sun-kissed glow, have we spent the last century actively accelerating our own aging process? Number 9, could a flour be a better cleanser than soap? While soap existed in the Middle Ages, it was often harsh and caustic, made with animal fat and lye. It was not always something you would want to use on the delicate skin of your face. So people use other things to get clean. One popular method was to use herbal infusions. They would steep flowers and herbs in hot water, let it cool, and then use that water to wash their face. One of the most beloved flowers for this purpose was chamomile. In medieval herbals, chamomile was prized for its gentle, calming properties. It was used in teas to aid sleep and calm nerves, and in skin washes to soothe irritation and inflammation. It was known to be particularly good for sensitive skin and for reducing redness. A chamomile rinse was a soft, fragrant way to cleanse the skin without stripping it of its natural oils. The science behind chamomile's skin benefits is well established. Its main active constituents are compounds like apigenin and bisabolol. These have powerful anti-inflammatory effects. A 2009 study published in the journal Molecular Medicine Reports compared the topical application of chamomile extract to a low-dose hydrocortisone cream and found it had a comparable anti-inflammatory effect. This is why it is so effective at calming down irritated skin, whether from rosacea, acne, or just general sensitivity. Bisabolol is also known to promote skin healing. Furthermore, chamomile has mild antiseptic properties, helping to keep the skin clean. It is a perfect example of a gentle giant soft enough for a baby's skin, but potent enough to have a real therapeutic effect. Today, chamomile is a hero ingredient in products designed for sensitive skin. You will find it in everything from cleansers and toners to serums and eye creams. Brands highlight its ability to soothe and reduce redness exactly as medieval herbalists did. The practice of using a simple chamomile tea bag, steeped and cooled, as a compress for tired or irritated eyes is a direct continuation of this ancient tradition. We are still using the same flower for the same reasons because it simply works. But it makes you think. Our modern idea of clean often involves foam, bubbles, and a squeaky feeling, which usually means the skin has been stripped. The medieval approach was much gentler. Were they more in tune with the needs of the skin's natural barrier? What other gentle, effective cleansing herbs like calendula or elderflower have we neglected in favor of harsh detergents? And could our obsession with aggressive cleansing be the root cause of the modern epidemic of sensitive skin? Number 8 is your fanciest serum, just an herbal oil. Moisturizing skin in the Middle Ages was not about light, fast-absorbing lotions. It was about oils and balms. One of the most common ways to make a skincare product was to create an infused oil. This involved soaking herbs and flowers in a carrier oil, like olive oil or almond oil, for several weeks. The oil would slowly extract the fat-soluble compounds from the plant material. The resulting oil was a potent concentrated liquid that carried the specific benefits of the herb. A very popular herb for this purpose was calendula, the bright orange pot marigold. Medieval herbalists valued calendula for its incredible wound healing abilities. A calendula-infused oil, or salve, was a staple for treating cuts, burns, rashes, and chapped skin. It was known to speed up recovery and prevent infection. Modern phytochemical analysis has revealed what makes calendula so effective. The flowers are packed with flavonoids and carotenoids, which are powerful antioxidants. These compounds help to protect the skin from environmental damage. More importantly, calendula has been shown to have significant anti-inflammatory and cell regenerative properties. A 2013 study in the Journal of Advanced Pharmaceutical Technology and Research found that a calendula ointment significantly accelerated wound healing. It appears to increase blood flow to the area and promote the production of collagen, which is essential for repairing skin. It is also antimicrobial, helping to keep wounds clean. When a medieval person applied calendula oil to a scrape, they were applying a natural cocktail of antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, and healing stimulants. This ancient practice of oil infusion is the basis of many modern clean beauty brands. Facial oils are now considered a luxury skincare step. You will see products featuring calendula-infused oil, rose-infused oil, or chamomile-infused oil sold for a high price. The technique is exactly the same as it was 1,000 years ago. It is a simple, effective way to deliver the concentrated benefits of a plant to the skin in a moisturizing base. It protects the skin barrier, delivers active compounds, and gives the skin a healthy glow. This revival of simple infused oils poses some questions. Have we been fooled into thinking that a product needs to be a complex, lab-created emulsion to be effective? Is a simple, carefully crafted herbal oil more beneficial for the skin than a lotion filled with synthetic emulsifiers, preservatives, and fragrances? And what potent combinations of herbs did our ancestors use that we have yet to rediscover? Number 7. Could scrubbing with almonds be better than a microbead? Exfoliation, the removal of dead skin cells, was a key part of the medieval beauty routine. They understood that smooth, bright skin required sloughing off the old, dull layer on top. They did not have chemical peels or microdermabrasion. They used what was available physical exfoliants from nature. A common recipe involved taking nuts, usually almonds or walnuts, and grinding them into a fine powder. This powder would then be mixed with a liquid like milk, honey, or water to form a paste. This scrub would be gently massaged over the face to physically buff away dead skin. The trotula contains several such recipes, recommending them to achieve a fair and shining face. They knew that this process left the skin feeling incredibly soft and looking much brighter. The principle is identical to modern physical exfoliants. The fine particles create friction on the skin, which dislodges the dead cells that can make the skin look dull and clog pores. Ground almonds were a particularly good choice. When ground, they are not too sharp or jagged, reducing the risk of creating micro tears in the skin, which can be a problem with harsher scrubs like those made from apricot pits. Almonds also have another benefit. They contain natural oils and vitamin E. So as you exfoliate, you are also delivering moisturizing and antioxidant benefits to the new skin you are revealing. It is a two-in-one treatment. This is a far cry from the plastic microbeads that became popular in the 20th century, which not only offered no nutritional benefit to the skin, but also created a massive environmental pollution problem. The medieval method was effective, nourishing, and completely biodegradable. Today, scrubs made with natural biodegradable particles like ground nuts, sugar, or coffee grounds are popular again. We have recognized the harm of plastic microbeads and are returning to the older, wiser methods. Brands are marketing gentle, natural exfoliants that are based on the same ingredients you could find in a medieval skincare recipe. We are relearning that nature often provides the perfect tool for the job, but it makes you wonder about our modern obsession with intense exfoliation. Medieval scrubs were likely used less frequently and were gentler than many of the harsh scrubs and powerful acids we use today. Are we over-exfoliating our skin and damaging its protective barrier in our quest for a constant glow? Did medieval people, with their gentler methods, have stronger, more resilient skin as a result? And what other finely ground natural materials like grains or seeds could be used for effective and nourishing exfoliation? Number 6, could cold water be the ultimate beauty product? Before the complex plumbing and water heaters we take for granted, a hot bath was a significant undertaking. For daily washing, cold or cool water was the norm. Splashing the face with cold water upon waking was a standard part of hygiene. But beyond just getting clean, cold water was recognized for its invigorating and beautifying effects. It was believed to tighten the skin, awaken the senses, and give the complexion a healthy, rosy color. There was no scientific language for it, but the immediate, tangible effects were obvious to anyone who did it. The skin felt firmer, the mind felt clearer, and the face looked more alive. It was the simplest beauty treatment imaginable, and it was available to everyone, from a queen to a milkmaid. The modern wellness movement has fully embraced the power of cold. We hear about cold plunges, cryotherapy facials, and the Wim Hof method. The core idea is that exposure to cold has significant health benefits. When it comes to the skin, a splash of cold water causes vasoconstriction, which is a tightening of the blood vessels. This can temporarily reduce puffiness and redness. It can also make pores appear smaller for a short time. After the initial cold shock, the body works to warm the area up again, increasing blood flow to the face. This rush of circulation brings oxygen and nutrients to the skin cells, resulting in that healthy, rosy glow that medieval people noticed. This improved circulation can, over time, contribute to healthier, more resilient skin. Professional cryotherapy facials, which use liquid nitrogen to blast the face with cold air, are an extreme high-tech version of this same basic principle. They are designed to reduce inflammation, boost collagen production, and tighten the skin. So that simple morning ritual of splashing the face with cold water is a mini cryotherapy session. It is free, takes seconds, and the effects are real. We are now using expensive technology and trendy wellness practices to achieve the same results that our ancestors got from a bucket of well water. This leads to some interesting thoughts. In our climate-controlled world, are we missing out on the natural, beneficial stresses like cold exposure that our bodies and skin evolved with? Could our constant comfort be making our skin weaker and more reactive? And if something as simple as the temperature of our water can have such a noticeable effect, what other simple, free environmental factors could we be using to improve our skin's health? Number 5 is fermentation, the future of skincare. This might seem like a very modern concept, but the roots of using fermented ingredients for skin health are ancient. In the Middle Ages, people consumed fermented foods and drinks as a matter of course. Beer, mead, kefir, like dairy products, and fermented vegetables were dietary staples. This was primarily for food preservation, but they were also consuming a rich daily dose of probiotics. They may not have known about the gut-skin axis, but they were living it. Additionally, as we have seen with wine and vinegar, they were applying fermented liquids directly to their skin. These fermented products were seen as active and purifying. Today, fermented skincare is one of the biggest trends, especially in Korean beauty. The process involves using microorganisms to break down ingredients into smaller, more potent molecules. This has several benefits. First, the fermentation process can create new beneficial compounds like amino acids and peptides that were not in the original ingredient. Second, it breaks down existing molecules, making them smaller and easier for the skin to absorb. This increases the bioavailability and effectiveness of the ingredients. Third, many fermented ingredients are rich in probiotics and postbiotics, which can help to support a healthy skin microbiome. A healthy microbiome is like a protective shield on the skin, helping to keep it calm, clear, and resilient. A 2021 article in the journal Cosmetics reviewed the growing body of evidence supporting the use of fermented ingredients for anti-aging, moisturizing, and anti-inflammatory benefits. Ingredients like fermented rice water, sake, soybeans, and tea kombucha are now common in high-end serums and essences. And medieval people were using these principles without the fancy terminology. When they used a vinegar rinse, they were applying a postbiotic-rich liquid to support their skin's acid mantle and microbiome. When they drank fermented beverages, they were supporting the gut health that we now know is directly linked to skin clarity and inflammation levels. We have simply isolated these processes, studied them, and turned them into a sophisticated and marketable skincare category. This prompts some deep questions. If our ancestors had healthier skin microbiomes due to their diet and environment, are many of our modern skin issues a direct result of a damaged microbiome? Could we see more improvement in our skin by adding fermented foods to our diet than by adding fermented serums to our routine? And what if the most powerful skincare product is not a cream at all, but a healthy, living ecosystem of bacteria on our skin surface? Number 4, did they practice oil cleansing? The modern concept of washing your face with soap and water is relatively new. For much of history, including the Middle Ages, oils were a primary means of cleansing the skin. People would apply oil olive, almond, or another vegetable oil to their face and body. They would then use a cloth, sometimes a warm, damp one, to wipe it all away. This method was used to remove dirt, grime, and any primitive cosmetics they might have been wearing. To our modern sensibilities, washing with oil to get clean sounds counterintuitive. We have been taught for decades to fight oil with harsh, oil-stripping cleansers. The medieval method was based on a completely different philosophy. The scientific principle behind it is like dissolves like. The oil applied to the skin dissolves the hardened oil sebum that is stuck in the pores, along with any dirt, makeup, or impurities trapped in it. When you wipe the oil away, you take all the grime with you. Crucially, this method cleanses the skin without stripping it of its natural lipid barrier. Harsh, foaming cleansers can wash away these protective oils, leaving the skin feeling tight, dry, and vulnerable. This can often trigger the skin to produce even more oil to compensate, leading to a vicious cycle of oiliness and breakouts. Oil cleansing, on the other hand, leaves the skin feeling clean, but also soft, balanced, and moisturized. It works with the skin's natural systems, not against them. The oil cleansing method, or OCM, has seen a massive resurgence in recent years. It is a cornerstone of many gentle skincare routines, especially for those with dry, sensitive, or acne-prone skin. Beauty blogs and forums are filled with testimonials from people who say that switching from harsh cleansers to oil cleansing completely transformed their skin, clearing up their acne and calming their irritation. High-end brands now sell expensive cleansing oils and balms, but the core product is often just a blend of the same simple, natural oils that a medieval woman would have used. This makes us reconsider our entire approach to cleansing. Has the marketing of oil-free products for the last 50 years been fundamentally wrong? Is it possible that the very products we use to fight oil are actually causing our skin to be oilier? And what if the simple, gentle wisdom of our ancestors holds the key to rebalancing our skin and breaking free from the cycle of stripping and over-moisturizing? Number 3, could a common garden herb heal your skin? Medieval gardens were pharmacies. Every plant was cultivated for a purpose, whether for food, fragrance, or medicine. One of the most versatile and respected herbs was Yarrow Achillea millefolium. Its very name, Achillea, is said to come from the mythical Greek hero Achilles, who used it to treat his soldiers' wounds on the battlefield. This reputation as a wound healer continued through the Middle Ages. It was known as herba militaris, or the military herb. A poultice of yarrow leaves was applied to cuts and scrapes to stop bleeding and prevent infection. But its uses were not just for battle. In skincare, an infusion of yarrow was used as an astringent wash. It was believed to tighten the skin, reduce the appearance of large pores, and control oiliness. It was a natural toner for those with greasy or blemish-prone skin. Modern science has validated these traditional uses. Yarrow is rich in tannins, which are natural astringents. They cause the skin's tissues to contract, which explains the tightening effect and the ability to stanch bleeding. It also contains a compound called azulene, the same anti-inflammatory compound found in chamomile, which helps to soothe irritated skin. A 2017 study in the Iranian Journal of Basic Medical Sciences confirmed yarrow's anti-inflammatory and wound-healing properties. Furthermore, research has shown that yarrow has significant antimicrobial and antiseptic qualities, which explains why it was so effective at preventing wound infections and why it would have helped with acne. It is a multi-purpose powerhouse. It cleanses, tones, soothes, and heals. Today, yarrow is making a comeback in natural skincare. Indie brands are using it in toners, spot treatments, and balms. It is celebrated for its ability to balance oily and combination skin without the harshness of alcohol or strong acids. It is another example of a plant that was a complete skincare treatment in a single package, offering benefits that we now seek from multiple different products. This begs the question, how many other common garden plants hold this kind of multifunctional power? Have we lost an intimate knowledge of the plant world that our ancestors possessed, a knowledge that could help us create simple, effective, and sustainable skincare? And what if the solution to our most stubborn skin problems is not in a lab, but growing just outside our door? Number two was a simple cloth, the best beauty tool. In an age before disposable cotton pads and motorized cleansing brushes, a simple piece of cloth was an essential part of the beauty routine. Women in the Middle Ages would use cloths, typically made of linen or soft wool, for a variety of purposes. They used them with water or oil to cleanse their faces, as we have discussed. But they also used them for exfoliation. By gently rubbing the skin with a slightly rough cloth, they could buff away dead skin cells, stimulate circulation, and leave their complexion smooth and polished. A warm, damp cloth was also used to steam the face, opening up pores before applying a mask or to help remove a treatment. It was a simple, reusable, multi-purpose tool. This practice is being revived today, often with modern materials. The use of a muslin cloth or a soft flannel to remove a cleanser is now seen as a superior method to just splashing with water. It ensures that all traces of makeup and dirt are wiped away, and it provides a very gentle daily exfoliation. This mild exfoliation is often better for the skin than using a harsh scrub once or twice a week. It helps to keep pores clear and improves skin texture over time without causing irritation. The celebrity esthetician Caroline Hirons has been a major advocate for using a flannel, bringing this simple, old-fashioned technique back into the mainstream. The rise of microfiber cloths, which are designed to remove makeup with just water, is another modern iteration of this ancient idea of relying on the physical action of a cloth to cleanse the skin. This simple tool did the job of a cleanser, an exfoliator, and a face steamer. It was sustainable. You just washed it and reused it. It was adaptable. You could use it with water, oil, or an herbal infusion. It was attuned to the user's needs. You could control the pressure to be as gentle or as vigorous as you wanted. It was a clever, low-tech solution. It makes you think about the vast market for beauty gadgets and disposables. Have we been convinced that we need complex tools to do a job that a simple piece of cloth can do just as well, if not better? Is our obsession with convenience and disposability creating waste and costing us money for no real added benefit? And what if the most effective beauty tech is not a device that needs to be charged, but a simple, reusable tool that has been around for centuries? Number one, what if the secret ingredient is what you leave out? Perhaps the most profound skincare secret from the Middle Ages is not a specific ingredient, but a philosophy. Their skincare was, by necessity, simple. They did not have access to the thousands of synthetic chemicals that make up modern cosmetics. Their ingredient lists were short, and they came from the natural world around them. A face mask might have 2 or 3 ingredients, a moisturizer might have only 1. They did not have synthetic preservatives, emulsifiers, foaming agents, artificial fragrances, or penetration enhancers. Their products were made fresh and used quickly. This was a minimalist approach born of circumstance, but it had an unintended benefit. It protected their skin from a constant onslaught of potential irritants. Today, there is a growing movement towards clean and minimalist skincare. People are becoming more aware of the long, confusing ingredient lists on their products. They are concerned about the potential for irritation from fragrances, the hormone-disrupting effects of certain preservatives like parabens, and the environmental impact of silicones. The average woman, according to some studies, applies hundreds of different chemicals to her body every day before leaving the house. Many common skin problems like contact dermatitis, sensitivity, and mysterious rashes can be traced back to a reaction to one of the many ingredients in our personal care products. The medieval approach, by its very nature, avoided this problem. The modern minimalist skincare philosophy is a direct echo of this. It advocates for using fewer products with shorter, more understandable ingredient lists. It is a rejection of the 12-step routine in favor of a simple cleanse, moisturize, and protect regimen. It prioritizes high-quality, recognizable ingredients over complex chemical cocktails. It is a return to the idea that the skin is a self-regulating organ and that our job is not to bombard it with products, but to gently support its natural functions. Brands like The Ordinary found massive success by focusing on single active ingredients rather than complex formulas. The rise of water-free or anhydrous products like balms and oils harks back to a time before complex emulsions were possible. This forces us to ask the most fundamental question of all. Is the problem with our skin not what we are missing, but what we are adding? Have we, in our quest for a perfect solution in a bottle, created a host of new problems by overwhelming our skin with an unprecedented chemical load? And what if the greatest medieval skincare secret is not an ingredient at all, but the simple, radical act of doing less?